Hello, welcome back to Farzan's Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're going to continue on with some Narcissu. So, last time we left off, we were contemplating stealing gas, but it turns out that the girl had like 50,000 yen in her pocket that she never told us about. So that solved a whole bunch of problems and hopefully serve us well in the future. So, let's go ahead and pick up here at the start of Chapter 5. I liked looking at maps. The Route 1 that continued forever, the unknown places, the cars that would take me everywhere, I loved them. But no matter how much knowledge I accumulated, it was imagination. Reality, my heart, both steadily grew fragile. I had a swimsuit, I had maps, but I had no future. I even had a world outside the window, but I had no reality I could touch. If I closed my eyes, I could go to a world of nothingness, but it wasn't as if this world itself had disappeared. I knew that. My lifelong companion was resigned to the world of closed eyes. And yet, always imagining what if, hoping for a maybe, gazing at a dream, but in the end, yearning never went beyond longing, both the bikini swimsuit and the Emerald Sea. The large scar on my chest advised me to give up. But spending most of my life at a hospital, spending time only in the world of my closed eyes, being unable to choose anything but the 7th floor or home was pitiful, without being given room to choose. But even saying that, unable to find that place, I felt myself to be pathetic. Even though I had lived 22 years, just once, let me do as I please. When I remembered that, time that should have stopped felt like it swayed. On that day, the heart that should have stopped, On that day, the heart that should have stopped hurt. Alright, not sure what that sentence was, but it's okay. January 26th, Route 1, Hiratsuka. The cleared blue sky of winter reflected on the hood as the silver coupe ran. As always, it ran without a destination, but for the moment neither gasoline nor shopping seemed to be a problem. Soon, we were about to enter a large intersection. Last night, I hadn't gotten the girl's approval, but I had just generally headed west anyway. It was just, I had absolutely no idea about the geography. Nice. And the cost of using the expressway seemed painful. While thinking about that, the large intersection came up ahead. Without thinking about it, I was going to drive straight through. There, left. Huh? Turn left. Suddenly, the girl gave me directions. While wondering what it was, I followed her instructions and made a left turn, coming out onto a large road. Just what was that? This is Route 1. For a while, go straight. For a while? Her sudden directions left me surprised. Up until now, she had come along, and while she seemed to know everything, this was the first time that she spontaneously gave me directions. Is it that you've started wanting to go? To that place, Wajishima? Problem? No, that's not what I meant. We had driven without any destination. I, who had been wandering around wanting a goal, and the mysterious girl always looking far away. What came from that girl's mouth was unexpected. It's not that I'm expecting anything. Huh? Oh, it's not like I want a swimsuit. What are you saying? It's nothing. Sudden music cuts are a little jarring sometimes. Under the clear winter sky, while reflecting the sunlight, the silver coupe ran on. Past through Hakone, with its steep inclines and sudden curves, and now the roads turned much gentler. Hey, this place is around where? Aichi-ken, and soon we'll be entering the city of Nagoya. Thinking of our money, we drove on the lower roads without using the expressways. Alright, see, I don't quite get that. I mean, I'm sure if you have to pay toll roads, that probably isn't super cheap, but driving on the streets the entire way sounds like a really bad way to deal with not having much gas money. I don't know, whatever. Myself alone, it would have been absolutely impossible, but following the girl's directions, we went on. The girl, who was more knowledgeable than a navigation system, pointed out the way. I didn't know the reason why, but I felt that it was probably the right route. At the next intersection, enter Route 22. Got it. Changing lanes is sold. I turned the wheel. In the scenery flowing by the window, we first saw a busy city stretch far to the north. Then, while all unnoticed, the scenery around us slowly turned to more calm things. Hey, you want to go there? By the side of the national road, some family restaurant chain. As I drove, I pointed to it and continued speaking. I mean, look, up till now we've only eaten convenience store food, right? Of course, we hadn't been only eating convenience store food because we liked it. We had to consider our money and didn't have that sort of room for choosing. That's a super upbeat song. But now we had just a bit of room financially. That was why I made the suggestion. Well, once in a while a restaurant's good too. I'm fine with the convenience store. Well, saying that, just a bit, the girl looked down. It seemed like she was looking at her clothes. Ah, that's right. She's wearing those floppy clothes all this time. Got it. Then want to go there first? There? Look, the store's the front. Some kind of jeans shop. It was one of those places often seen along the national roads that looked like some kind of wholesale outlet dealing in jeans and casual wear. I'm sure a store like that would have things that don't cost that much. Well, we're going. We're going in, okay? There was no reply, but there's also no resistance. Could it be... If she didn't object, I could think of it as agreement? I mean, I suppose so. We entered the store. On the large 2 floors, the girl curiously went around many of the sections. She was silent as usual, and might have looked unchanged from her usual appearance. But somehow it was slightly different from the time she was lifelessly staring at whatever came on boring television. Over and over, she would pick something up, look at the price tag, and fall into thought. And while trying things on, she'd come up to me. How is it? How is it? It suits you. It's not strange? Probably. Ooh, wrong answer, dude. Over and over like that, the girl would change clothes and come back to show me. She would never smile or show any emotion, but I sensed somewhere that she was enjoying herself. How about it? Decided? I'll take this. Well, saying that, she showed me the last set she changed into, a cute shirt and short skirt. Those clothes were just exactly like a middle school or high school student's, but she happily wore them. Certainly, she had said that she was older than me. But however you looked at it, when put together with a figure that really didn't look older, it suited her so well, it was charming. But that skirt, isn't it better if you gave up on it? No, it's not that it doesn't suit you or anything. Look, it's cold, isn't it? It's not an outfit for the season. It's not particularly a problem. I'll endure it. When she answered, I could see just the slightest bit of red on her white face. Even though normally she would absolutely never show any emotion, could it be that she's embarrassed? It's the first time I saw her show emotion. We continued on driving. Under the high, high winter sky, the silver coupe with a slightly noisy exhaust continued driving. Next, go on to Route 21. Alright. As usual, we went on following the girl's navigation. Before we knew it, we were in Gifuken. Normally, except when needed, the girl would always be gazing out the window. But now, again and again, she would happily look at her reflection in the side mirror. As if she were trying to avoid my noticing, she peered into the mirror. What? Nothing. The clothes from before. Looks like you like them. Not particularly. It's not that. Saying that, she stopped looking at the side mirror. But after a while, when I was looking away again, the girl once again started checking the mirror. In the end, she's also got a cute side, it seems. From just that little thing, just normally, and only normally, I thought she was cute. The sun had completely set. By some roadside somewhere, we had once again fished our meal of convenience store. Finished, maybe? Finished our meal of convenience store food. Say, I wonder what's become of things right now. Even now, wrapped around my wrist, the white final bracelet. On it, my blood type and name is recorded. As I looked at the hospital's nameplate, I murmured, "Why wouldn't you take that off?" I don't know. You think there's been a big uproar? Probably. Yeah. Parents, friends, as well as hospital doctors. When I thought that, even if only on the surface, they were worried about me, it pained my heart a little. Sorry, Dad, everyone. Going off and doing something selfish. Say, you... Something the matter? The first time you heard you're gonna die, did you cry? Hey, I got it right. The girl's sudden question. For a moment, I was taken aback. Then I thought about the weight of the question for a time. I think I didn't cry. Then did you say, "Why only me?" and curse fate? That's, I don't really remember. In the beginning, I wasn't able to realize what was happening in reality. I think it's because I couldn't conceive it as being real. However, in truth, there might have been a bit of that. The friend I went to the training center with bought a new car, complained about how much trouble the 36 loan payments were. There were those who got jobs, those who got left back in school, those who had kids, those who were dumped by their girlfriends again. But I was denied a future. That was why, to be honest, I think there had to have been the feeling of why only me. Even when I told myself that this was fate, still, I think there was the feeling of not wanting to give up. Then, what about you? Me? Yeah, did you cry out of sadness or curse fate? I was fine with it. Why? Because from the start, I didn't wish for anything. Because I had given up. I see. If you gave up from the start, there would be no disappointment. If you looked into your past, there wouldn't be any happy things, but also no painful things. But I had a feeling that that way of thinking was far too sad. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Or perhaps in the girl's case, maybe there's nothing else that could be done. A movie that I saw before said that wolves only live 3 years. Huh? Wolves? Suddenly, the girl started talking about something I didn't really get. But it said that donkeys live 9 years. What's this? Wolves are 3 years and donkeys are 9? Donkeys are useful, so they live long. That's how it is, it seems. The girl looked lonely. She gazed out the window, her words sliding out. I think that's probably more because wolves get shot more often, but this was probably, to this girl, the excuse to convince herself, the excuse so that she could give up. Yeah, it's pretty sad if she's like trying to compare herself to something that's useless. That's messed up, man. Ugh. Under the evening winter sky, we continued straight along Route 21. Dancing in that darkening sky, lightly floating specks of white. It seemed that depending on circumstances, it might snow harder. Something wrong? Yeah, it's snowing. Then I noticed that the sides of the road had become white with fallen snow. I didn't know when we'd come to a snowy area, but everywhere I looked was stained with white. This might be trouble. From what I had seen before, these tires weren't studless winter tires. Wait. Okay, that's another weird sentence, but whatever. You want studded tires in the winter. Oh well. If further ahead was an even snowier area, it might be troublesome. I'm about to say, just learn how to drive in the snow, but they're from the south of Japan, they probably don't see much of that. Hey, is this place a snowy area? Hmm? Well, if the snow gets any worse, it might be difficult, you see. Even if the road surface wasn't covered in snow, in such a place it wasn't surprising if the road froze over. And thinking about it, I hadn't learned anything outside of the instruction center's textbook, and we might need to have chains put on. How about it? Do you know? Up ahead is Sekigahara. I heard that last time. What I want to know is whether this place gets heavy snow. I don't know. For some reason, the girl answered with a lonely expression. In that expression, I felt that something didn't match up. Even though she knew that much about the roads and also knew so much about this car, compared to that, this seemed like something she would definitely know. Alright, well, at any rate, I'll drive carefully. The shoreline. We got out of the car and gazed at a lake. Blown by the strong wind here and there, white snow even stained the frozen lake surface. And in that, facing what seemed like the sea's edge, the girl slowly started walking. It was a scene that occurred before. Say, what do you think? That if you continue into the sea like this, would you die comfortably thing? I have a feeling it'd be more comfortable than the sea. I don't see the basis for that answer. Yeah, I mean, drowning's still drowning there, lady. Well, seawater is salty, and your body would float, wouldn't it? That's impressive reasoning. Alright, this song totally feels a little out of place, but I don't speak Japanese, so maybe the lyrics make sense. With the cold north wind and in the falling snow, the two of us exchanged words where one couldn't tell whether we were serious or joking. And then the feet that had briefly paused once again started to move towards the lake. I guess you aren't going to stop me? Well, today you don't plan on dying, right? That may be so. That place, Awajishima, how much further would that be, I wonder? It's not as if I wanted to go there or that I had some sort of obsession with it. However, even though we've been wandering around with no purpose now, we found ourselves with a place to aim for. Even if without me stopping her, the girl's feet remained one step before the water's edge. I was sure that was how it was. January 28th, whatever on the Meishin Expressway. From there, go back to Route 1. Got it. From Route 8 back to Route 1. Following the girl's navigation, this time headed towards Kusatsu. Stay, right now, is our money fine? We still have about 30,000 yen. Before, we had bought clothes, but other than that, we continued on our usual convenience store fare. Is something the matter? Then, you want to go on the expressway? Expressway? We can't go all the way using the smaller roads? Certainly, up until very close you can. But in the end, you have to take a toll road, so... I see. Well, it is Awaji Island, after all. I didn't know the details, but in order to get to Awajishima, one had to cross the Seto Ohashi Bridge, or some other bridge. Well, from Kusatsu, go on to the bypass. Alrighty. Following the girl's direction, we went from the Seita interchange and continued onto the Meishin Expressway. Compared to the normal roads we've been running on until now, it was obviously a better maintained road. There were no traffic lights, and with good visibility of the road, even for a first-time expressway driver like me, I felt like it was easy to drive on. It was just, if I were in the high-speed lane on the right, the cars that came up from behind at a ferocious pace were scary. At the start, I didn't know what passing was, or what the right blinkers meant, but when I got used to it, I thought driving on the expressways was fun. I almost want to make fun of him for that, but he got hospitalized like right after he got his license, so I guess it makes sense. Amazing, that car. Passing us at an astounding speed, some car from somewhere. We were driving leisurely and couldn't help but look at each other. And then the girl who sat in the passenger seat looked slightly different from usual. Normally, she'd be looking out the window with distant eyes, but today, surprisingly, she was curiously looking around at the cars. Speaking of which, for some reason, she knew a lot about cars. I pointed at the car from before that ferociously passed us. So what car was that just now? Come now, think of it like a quiz. Toyota Celica, overview. Then the one that passes now? Citroen Zara. I see, you know them well, don't you? To be honest, I couldn't tell whether she was right or not. However, the girl that would rarely open her mouth on her own seemed to be enjoying herself as she answered again and again. That was why, without pausing, I continued to speak. The blue one is a Unos, the red one was an Alfa Romeo. She even answered for 2 cars that passed us at the same time. But you don't know that one, right? As I spoke this time, I pointed to something different from a normal car, a truck. I wanted to see that slightly troubled face from the girl who would show so little emotion. So, yeah, I guess you don't know trucks, eh? Nissan Atlas 10. Hey, you're amazing. Even though I was trying to give her a hard time, I hadn't thought she would know even trucks. If you know this much, isn't it on the level where you can be proud of it? Is that so? Dude, I think you can puff out your chest. The girl had turned silent at my words. She seemed just a little bit embarrassed. I'm sure she really liked cars. Well then, when we get over there, you want to try driving? But I don't have a license. It'll be fine. I'm sure driving on the beach or something will be fun. Most likely, if we go to Wajishima, there'll be plenty of deserted places. Plus, this car's a manual transmission, so once you got used to it, I thought it'd be interesting. Well, in that case, I'll teach you. Well, I mean, even so, I'm just a new driver myself. Nice. Oh, man. We're done already. Okay, well, in that case, I'll have to call it here for today, but, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.